Yeah.
Do you want to do your introduction?
Absolutely. Hi everyone. So I'm Joshua. I'm the Global Engagement Officer for the Carnegie School of Sport. So I'll be one of your sort of key points of contact when you come to the university. So I'm looking forward to seeing you guys in September and working with all of you. And I'll introduce David.
Thanks, Josh. Hi, everybody. It's my privilege to just share a few ideas with you, specifically about the Carnegie School of Sport. My name is Dave Morley. I'm a professor, the Carnegie Professor of Physical Education here at our school. I also have a role as Global Engagement Lead. So I work specifically with our international hubs in India and in the USA, and my two core priorities, if you like. Today, I'm going to just take you through a bit of an overview of what we do in the school, and then open up an opportunity to ask some questions around the school that we're privileged to be in, and my real role is to give you some of the perspective of what the courses look like. If you've got any broader conversations around, say, admissions or accommodation, finance, those types of things, I'm sure if you go back to Sarah and have any, I'm sure Sarah will field any of those questions. Josh, can you just confirm that you can see a slide on your screen at the moment? Yeah, that my sharing's okay.
Yeah, I can see everything.
Just confirm that that's actually moved forward now, yeah?
Yeah, let's move forward.
Perfect, thank you. Thanks, Josh. And thanks, Josh is our the rep for the school as well. So Josh works really closely with our global engagement activity and establishes quite a lot of in-year activities for you when you get here, and plays a critical role in how we allow you to settle in. Our university looks very different to this now. And I'll show you some slides to give you a sense of where you'll be when you come to us. But this is one of the buildings, Carnegie Hall, which is right behind where the new building is that we sat in today. Carnegie Physical Training College was the first training college of its kind in the UK, opened in 1933. What was called Beckett Park. Our university now is called Leeds Beckett University. So the Beckett tradition and pedigree and heritage has been there for quite a while. Initially started off as a teacher training college for PE teachers. It was a male-only college, and then took it. So it's got a lot of heritage, a lot of tradition, and is internationally renowned for its prestige in particularly the physical education space. Since it opened, there's been a proliferation of courses offered at the university. I'll give you an indication of what they are in a while, but just suffice to say that PE forms one small but very important part of our portfolio, and we've now expanded to recognise sport more globally and the role that it plays in society. So really, I suppose our one mantra is really working together to make a difference in and through sport and physical activity. So it doesn't matter what course you come onto, every single course director, every single subject head, for which I'm the subject head for physical education, they all work towards the same mantra, really. And it's for us to develop students and support and challenge students, stimulate the learning in a way which gets you to think about how you can make a difference in and through sport and physical activity. So using sport for the power of good, for solving some global problems around inactivity, unhappiness. So really move towards well-being, physical literacy, as we would call it now, and each individual's journey through and relationship with physical activity and movement. I am seeing the questions pop up on the chat. What I'll do, thank you very much. I didn't quite catch your name there who posted that, but keep doing that as I go through. I'll go through the whole presentation. If I see a question pop up and I see it as part of my future slides, then I'll just draw your attention to that. But if you can just keep posting those, and I'll come back to them at the end. So really, Leeds is a real epicenter in the north of England. I suppose I should say about you. I'm looking at your holding offers at the moment, so you will have already done your research around where Leeds is. Leeds is in the north of England, quite a central position in the north of England. Probably about an hour's drive over to the northeast coast there, and about the same the other way to the western coast into the northwest. Very active and sporting city and region. So we have teams like Leeds United Football Club, for which I'm a supporter of. I was at the, if you follow soccer, football as we call it here, then Leeds United have just made it into the playoff final to try and get back into the Premier League, which they'll play on Sunday at Wembley. So that just goes to one indication of the success of Leeds as a city in terms of their football heritage, but equally so the Leeds Rhinos with Rugby Football League, cricket with Yorkshire, a real hotbed of cricket and host international matches from T20 into various forms of cricket right the way through to full test cricket at what you see there in your top left, which is the Carnegie Pavilion. So we've always had a really strong connection with our local sporting partners. Right the way through, we've got an international swimming pool. We've got a netball team now, which is a franchise established through Leeds Rhinos. Quite a lot of these teams, I've just been sat having lunch, and Yorkshire Cricket Club are here with us at the moment, using our venues for strength and conditioning, for coach development support, athlete development. And then we have got some really strong community and network links as well. We're very proud of our network links, so we will establish and deliver professional development training for teachers, for coaches in our immediate area and then beyond, and act as the hub. There's a conference today around hospitality just happening in this building that I'm speaking to you from. I keep seeing the questions pop up, keep asking. There's been a few around cricket and cricket teams as well, so I'll come back to those. We are a campus for sport. Headingley, which is where we're based now, and the slide in the top right-hand corner there is our new building. So we've moved from that older style building into a brand new building, only been opened a couple of years. Phenomenal award-winning design of the building. I'm sat in it now. A lot of students around, some really nice study areas, fantastic labs. This orange cube is actually an indoor 60-meter indoor athletics track. It's just a phenomenal building. We're very, very, very lucky to have it, and really just provides such a strong collegiality and learning hub for what we need. The one in the top middle is our James Green building. It's where the library, IT services are all held. We've got a tennis centre attached to us. We have a pool. I swim in the pool. It's a very traditional style pool, but a great pool and open access to students and staff at key times of the day. An excellent athletics track. We have an excellent reputation for high performance athletics. So much so, I think we're drawing real attention, particularly in the United States, with students looking to study with us specifically because of its links to high performance athletics and triathlon and those sports. Some excellent gyms. I've probably got about 6 gyms now, I think, some strength and conditioning specific ones, some more recreational hub machine types of gyms, and we have some strength and conditioning suites as well. So in Leeds, we have a city site, it's obviously down in Leeds city centre, and then we have our Headingley campus, which is where I'm sat now, and it's only a couple of miles out the centre, but it's in a leafy area, beautiful surroundings, really, really fortunate to have a fabulous place to study. The question here then, I know it's about, does Leeds Beckett have a student team? Yes, it does. And it's got 36 clubs, right the way from high performance to social level activity, intramural activities, so residential accommodation, that type of thing. We'll play other accommodation. Wednesday afternoon typically is just awash with variety of sports activities going on, home and away fixtures. 80 teams, 1,500 members. We do really well in books. Books is our sports provider in terms of leagues and competitive fixtures. So that basically 20 out of 147 we're in very good stock there. We do very well with our teams. Health and fitness program, and there's classes, there's Zumba, there's yoga, there's Pilates, there's swimming, there's kayak drills, there's lifeguarding, there's dance, there's cheerleading, there's pretty much anything and everything. And what we use as well is a coach education and first aid delivery team there as well. So we offer subsidised courses to students that want to further themselves during their education experiences on degrees, with a bit of a wraparound service to give you some qualifications as you move through. Most of our students at undergraduate and postgraduate level do access those courses, and because they're subsidised, it just works out that they're a bit cheaper than what you normally pay. We are an academic home for sport, the largest in Europe, huge, quite complex organisation and institution. But what that means for you studying here is you do get access to a real range of expertise. So if you're studying on one course, even if that course is being delivered by those subject staff, it's highly likely the expertise in a specific area will have been drawn from other areas of expertise as well. So I'm in physical education, but we've got sports scientists, nutritionists, people that come and support our students and either directly be involved in lectures, in seminars, or indirectly through, like I've said, give us information and almost train us in how to deliver some of that expert information. So it's really good in terms of its depth and breadth. And something that we're really proud of is our academic expertise in terms of research on two levels, really. One, we're really good at doing it. 100% outstanding impact as well, and world leading or international excellence in the environment we provide for our research. And so that would speak more heavily in the postgraduate space, but in the undergraduate space, we really work hard on linking our undergraduates with cutting edge, real chalk face research experiences. So I've just conducted a global randomized control trial for Nike over the past 3 years, and students have accessed that to work on that as research assistants. I think we've had something like 35 to 40 students supporting that project, that global project, looking at movement and physical activity interventions. So that's just my own example, but for every professor or reader or anyone with any form of research activity, our ability to link our students into those projects is something that we really do pride ourselves on, and that's one of the environmental aspects of the work that we do, which we think we stand up there with the best in the world. We do have this very impactful research. It's about making a difference. It's what we're all about. So some examples there. We have our director of research, very much connected into the global anti-doping policy and practice space. So working alongside WADA in developing intervention support programs for athletes to obviously deter them from taking drugs, and then use the detection principles as well within that. A lot of work within rugby league and rugby union, particularly around things like injuries and concussion, and working with global and national bodies in that regard. We do have a Centre for Social Justice, really looking at gender equity in sport coaching, but across all of our communities of practice. For example, working with Muslim women in sport, in potentially volunteering or coaching roles or as PE teachers. So a strong element of socio-critical perspectives on involvement within sport, particularly from females. Do a lot of work in transforming policy and practice. We are host to the International Coach Council for Excellence, so the ICCE. The vice president is actually one of our staff. So we do a lot of work in sport coach development and looking at both at policy level, globally, internationally, and then at national governing body level with specific sports who are looking to improve their practice. We have an obesity research institute, so we have a lot of work in that space around how in the UK we can address some of the issues that we're finding emerging around obesity, particularly in childhood obesity. And then we're looking at well-being and improving the well-being in this particular case through returning wounded soldiers or UK military more generally, and how we can support them using the outdoor environment. So you can see a whole raft of experiences that we have within our research landscape, but like I said, we're keen to allow you to access those opportunities. I already said we're one of the largest UK universities for sport and one of the largest in Europe. 11 undergraduate degrees, 12 postgraduate degrees, and obviously MA, MScs, about 150 PhD students, doctoral students, some professional practice, doctoral students as well in that mix, and around 140 academic staff with a whole range, a swathe of support and professional services staff as well, ranging from helping you out with course administration, right from the off within induction, all the way through to assembling your grades and taking you all the way through to graduation, basically. So a whole range of professional services, technical support staff, lab-based support, technical support within some of the practical spaces as well. We have a relatively new course that's emerging. Just want to raise your awareness to this. This is our Applied Sports Studies course. So what we found a couple of years ago were students really interested in working in a more applied setting, and particularly in certain sports. So what we did is partner with a range of sports that are listed there. So from Leeds United Football Club through to Leeds Rhinos, both rugby and netball, Yorkshire Cricket Club, I've already mentioned, and British Athletics, because we've got such a good pedigree for high performance sport here as well. What that means is within that course then you study a range of modules from which are really drawn and packaged in a way which gives you a broad brush approach to your educational experiences, which then almost gives you an opportunity to have a look around those different areas, ranging from sport development to sport performance, health and exercise science, heavily placement based. So you're embedded with the specific sport. So you come to us, you do this range of educational development modules, what we draw from different courses, and then you do an embedded placement where, again, they would ask you to apply some of those learning experiences within their organizations. Really popular course. I think we launched it last year. It filled straight away, and it's oversubscribed already this year. And I think there are already moves then to think about other sports that we may bring into that. So from an academic support point of view, we do give everyone access to Skills for Learning, which is an online learning support framework. I've got to say it's the most underused and best resource I think I've ever come across. So it is one that I'm an academic advisor, I'm a personal tutor. I often point my students in the direction of that for just general support. We do have a specific employability pathway as well, where we prepare our students for work once they leave us at university or for further study. So giving them opportunities to explore their interests and design their own portfolios to be able to respond to any applications that they need to submit for future employment. Strong alumni network, just some people there you can see, so you'll have your own sporting preferences. I think it's ranging from Ian McGeechan, who's a senior international rugby coach, through to Matt Cannon, who actually is the head of, in the top left there, as you're looking at it, is sport coaching, chief executive for UK, sport coaching UK. Cyclists, you can see a lot of athletes there have been with us. Cricket, and then some football and some triathlon as well. We've been a high performance triathlon centre for quite a while, so you can see how some of our alumni are attracted by that and then go on to pursue their professional career as well. I've got to say, I'm biased, but I think our student experience is phenomenal. Well, I'm not biased. All of the evaluations we have suggest the same. We perform very well. We keep our staff to student ratio is quite low. So we're looking at in the region of about 20 to 1, 20, 24 to 1 probably. And in the master space, it's less than that, more like 10 to 1. We provide a range of opportunities for students to work in a number of environments, so from lectures to workshops to practicals to placements. Very, very keen on placements. Most courses have some form of placement opportunity, so that ability to go and flex your brain a little bit, all those theories and constructs that you've learned, to take them out into the world of work, world of practice, and try those out. And we have some really nice touch points throughout that degree. I've just literally finished at a Leavers Ball a couple of weeks ago, a big black tie event where students then have an opportunity to celebrate the end of their 3-year experience as undergrads. So I do think we're a very strong family in that regard. I think what sort of students tell us, they have an excellent experience, they have real good contact and with staff, with lecturers. And lecturers are seen to be easy to access and informative, which is what you want as a student. Just going to play you a little video now. I'm just fingers crossed, just to breathe a little bit of life into that through a video.
Once this building was built, it was just a wow factor.
I knew about Leeds Beckett's sporting reputation.
Welcome everybody. The lecturers, they're always there if you need them, and they have that arm over your shoulder when you are struggling.
It was a whole new environment for me, a whole different experience.
It's really easy to make friends, and everyone wants everyone to do well, so everyone's super friendly.
Within my second week, we were looking at blood lactate and doing practicals for that. I remember it so much more from doing the practicals.
My lecturers, majority of them are coaches themselves. They've been there, done that and got the t-shirt, so there's no one better to learn from.
We have so many different sports teams around us.
Like Leeds Rhinos.
There's Yorkshire Cricket.
Leeds United.
If you wanted to do some research, there's loads of opportunities.
The running track upstairs is the #1 feature right there.
I have never ever seen anything like that before. And they taught us testing that they do in training.
The labs are really like state of the art.
I chose to study at Leeds Beckett because it was head and shoulders above the rest. I've trained all over. I've trained in England, I've trained in Australia, and this is by far one of the best places I've been able to be a part of.
Just looking at the athletes that actually come at the university.
Alistair Brown is obviously an Olympic gold medalist.
There's the England Rugby League team, men and women.
I've seen Josh Warrington, professional boxer. People of that calibre wouldn't come and use the facilities unless they were top-notch. During first year, you're encouraged to get a certain amount of hours volunteering in whatever environment you can. They're preparing.
Is by far one of the best places I've been able to be a part of.
Just looking at the athletes that actually come at the university.
Alistair Brown, who's obviously an Olympic gold medalist.
There's the England Rugby League team, men and women.
I've seen Josh Warrington, professional boxer. People of that calibre wouldn't come and use the facilities unless they were top-notch. During first year, you're encouraged to get a certain amount of hours volunteering in whatever environment you can.
They're preparing us to be independent.
You're constantly being encouraged to put what you learn into action.
Leeds Beckett itself has just boosted my confidence.
It enables you to actually want to do something that you never actually thought about doing before.
So that's it. That's the Carnegie School of Sport. Hopefully that's given you an overview of who we are, the types of courses we run, the academic support we offer, a little bit of a glimpse, a very whistle-stop tour, unfortunately, but I hope that's gone somewhere to provide you with an overview that you need. What I'm going to do now is just stop sharing and then just ask if anyone's got any specific questions. And if you can, just come off, just activate your camera for me, please. If you want to ask a direct question, use the raise the hand function, activate your camera. It's just always nice for me if I can see people that I'm talking to. Here we go. It looks like the first question's coming through right now. Shreyas, how you doing?
Sir. I'm doing good, sir, and nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. How can I help today?
So, sir, just recently I got an unconditional offer letter from Leeds for joining MSc Strength and Conditioning. And basically, my background is I'm a cricketer, also played here domestically. So I just want to find out what are the opportunities and what will be the highest level if I perform well, sir. So I just want to know what platform for my cricket experience.
Yeah, so obviously your first protocol will be through the university cricket team. We have then and they will be the best people to talk to around broader connections then into some other pathways from, say, a Yorkshire Cricket Club or a local cricket club perspective. I always think they're the best people to ask those types of questions as well. So sport and active lifestyles will have a better perspective on those links. We have a talented athlete scholarship scheme. So if there is a perspective on a applicant where you've got significant experience and expertise within a sport at a very high level, then there is an opportunity then to potentially to get some further support through that. But again, I think your starting point there would be to talk to come in through the university cricket team, almost demonstrate your expertise, and then they will then connect you on to other opportunities. Does that make sense?
Sure. I'll try to get to know more about it and get more clarity.
Yeah. Okay, I'll take some. Thank you for that. Thanks for your questions. That's brilliant.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you. I've got yeah. Okay. Yeah. What opportunities? Yeah. Okay. I've just mentioned that, which is great. So I've just got a question here about when is the deadline to meet and provide documents after a conditional offer is accepted. I would ask if you just talk to Sarah Stone and admissions people and ask them directly. I'm very much here just to provide information about the school. I don't know about the admissions details on that, I'm afraid. So if you can talk directly to admissions and they'll provide you information around when documentation needs to be submitted. Okay. Another question here around someone's received, well done, so an offer for MSc in Sport and Exercise Nutrition. Details about internships and post-study work opportunities, along with the average salary. Again, I think if you write into either Joe Rossiter or Sarah Stone with that specific request, they will forward you on to the subject head for Sport and Exercise Nutrition, and they will talk to you about internships. I'm fairly confident there is a placement perspective to that. Whether it goes as far as internships or not, I don't know, but certainly opportunities to work in the field. They will have a better idea around post-study work opportunities and average salaries. I don't want to even speculate on what that could look like. I'd prefer you to go to the people that know what they're doing, because they're experts in that field. So if you can do that, that would be great. So again, I'm sorry I sounded like I'm fobbing you off here, but I said at the start, I don't really have a great deal of information on specific courses. If it's a PE question, I'll answer it. But on that particular case, I'll have to ask you just to write into Joe or Sarah or the admissions. So Joe or Sarah then will forward your request on to the appropriate subject head. Do all the students have access to the gyms? There is a membership scheme that we run here. So that does give you access to gyms, squash courts, swimming pool, sports halls, tennis courts, football pitches, hockey pitches, the athletics track. So that membership is available. I'm not entirely sure how much it costs at the moment, but I think I'm a staff member and I pay maybe £12.50 a month or something like that. So it's typical to what you'd pay in a typical gym. I think anyway, it's really good value for money. So yeah, you do get access to those gyms, and obviously during teaching and learning, you get access to them anyway, because we use them for that purpose. For sport business management, are there roadmaps for different roles? For example, do we get a path to being a sporting director in football? Again, I'm apologising a lot, Sammy here, but again, you just send that inquiry in, please, to Joe or Sarah or someone in the admissions routes that you've been communicating with. They'll forward that on to Ingrid, who's the head of subject for sport business management, and I'm sure she'll be able to respond to your request on that. Is Leeds United football team connected with the university? Very much so. Yeah, we have a number of their teams will come and train regularly here. They will use it for strength and conditioning, for player assessments, for physiological assessments, so DEXA testing. We are connected very heavily with the team, not to the level of sponsorship. I think we have some sponsorships elsewhere with some of those other major teams, but definitely, yes, they come to us and they offer us opportunities to work with them, predominantly through the apps course, which I talked about, but through other courses as well. Again, specifically about the MSc Sports Events Management course, pop that in around what more you need to know. I think what I would do is signpost you to if it's a general thing, signpost you to the website, because that's got an online prospectus for you to look at, which will give you the details surrounding the course, which modules you do in which semester, even, like a breakdown of the total learning experience. So anything to do course related in terms of what it looks like, what modules it has in it, where the placement of those modules, where the placement opportunities are, go online, and that's your starting point. That online learning prospectus, something that I refresh all the time, so that'll be your most current way of doing that. Students of masters in sport coaching get opportunities. I don't exactly know what opportunities you're referring to there, but if it means opportunities to coach, then definitely we have some fantastic partners that we work with. And again, a large part of that, one of the key modules is to actually have a reflective piece about coaching opportunities. So yes, definitely. Is there coaching opportunities for football within the university? Again, if it's with the football teams that are here, there is a staff structure for that. We do have full-time staff that are employed in that space as well. So I'm not sure within the teams, but certainly coaching opportunities for working in the local area. There's a lot of our students that coach in the local area, whether that be athletics, football, hockey, netball, doesn't matter really. Can I share Joe and Sarah email ID here? Yeah, I can do that. Josh, can I ask you to do that, please? Can you just? Oh, they had.
Yeah,
there
I just
you go.
pasted it in.
Oh, Josh,
Voila.
you're so much quicker than me. Of course you can. There you are. Do we have an ice skating team for the university? Wow, that's one that I've not been asked before. If you go on to Sport and Active Lifestyles part of the website, again, I don't know, Josh, if you get a minute to do that, but if there isn't one, and there are people that have come through into the universities before. For instance, we didn't have a chook ball team. You may not know much about chook ball, but it's quite an innovative, new age type of sport. There wasn't a chook ball team. Someone came and said, "Can we start a chook ball team?" They funded it, provided the resources to play other universities, and now there is a full league of chook ball. So that's how it starts. So you can always come along, make the suggestions. You've got to form a committee, organise competitive fixtures against, or recreational opportunities against other people, and that's the mandate for that's fairly straightforward. So if we don't have one, it's always a question worth asking. Oh, what is the procedure for getting enrolled? That's a good question. Thank you. Procedure for getting enrolled is in sports activities, literally at your freshers fair. That's in the first week of your studying with us. There is a whole range of stalls from all those different activities, and you can sign up, subscribe on the day. They're there to give you more information. If you miss out on that, you can't make it for whatever reason, you can sign up for those teams. I think pretty much at any point during the year. They may have a cut off later in the year if it's really not worth your time to get involved because there are too few activities, but that is the enrollment process. So typically most students will enroll during the freshers fair in that first week prior to your kind of formal induction, or sometimes part of your induction, and then you would go on from there. Do you become? There's a lot of questions about sport coaching, which is great because that's another area of my expertise. Do you become a professional coach in the UK? Is Masters in Sport Coaching a good starting point? That's a really good question. So I actually think, given my experience, I've lectured it here and done research in sport coaching in the UK and in Australia. I think the Masters in Sport Coaching is often used by coaches who have been in coaching quite a while to give them an extra element, an extra string to their bow, if you like. Just because you've got a master's in sport coaching, it doesn't mean to say you're going to become a professional coach. So in all of those instances, you're always going to need to accumulate a certain number of years of expertise in that sport before you go on to become a professional coach. Most people, in response to that specific question, will start off in a voluntary sector, have some potential part-time paid work in, say, an academy as an assistant coach, etc., take on some more formal coaching responsibilities, roles and responsibilities, take on a lead or head coach in some of those lower levels of pathway development before they move up to a professional coach in the elite sense, if you like. So that's the normal trajectory for coaches, really. So it would be wrong of me to say just because you had a master's, you will become a professional coach. I would say in PE teaching terms, if you do an undergrad and then a postgraduate degree, certificate in education, then you will become a teacher because that's the route vocationally. But in sport coaching terms, professionalism of it is not quite the same. So you would be expected, I think, to spend quite some time in the lower echelons of that. And if I'm almost equating a professional coach as being a paid coach, a full-time paid coach, then it's going to take you some years to get to that. I think, Josh, you can just keep me on track if I haven't, but have I tracked all the questions?
I think so.
Oh, sorry, I've just seen some that same person who posted the question, FA, UEFA certificates, or during it. Yeah, during it, I've got UEFA B, which I did when I was at university. So as a student, so the equivalent to UEFA B. So you can do these certificates during your qualifications, which is a good way. But yes, then your certification quite an important part. That's a good point, a really good point. Yeah, well done. There's some really good questions there. Sorry, Josh, I'll just come back to you. Do you think I've missed anything in all that?
I don't think so. I think just make sure, guys, that you contact the right people in the international office regarding like admission and the visa questions.
Yes. Yeah, it's a good point. I did almost disclose at the start that I am not a specialist in the professional services support element of what you would need to come to the university in terms of any visa support, admissions, like I said, accommodation, financial support, etc. I'm not an expert in that. I think there are other people there, and as Josh said, reach out to the people that will give you that support. And you should find most of that on the website. I would have thought if you've got any issues, then talk to those people in admissions that will be able to give you those responses. And in some cases, like I've done there, is just signpost you on to somebody else. If you've got a if you've got a subject specific question like in nutrition or sports science or sport coaching, etc., then you need to talk to someone who works in that team, and they will give you specific information around internships, placements, and partnerships, and how some of those things work. If you ask me a question on PE, I could do that, but I don't work in those other subjects, I'm afraid. Thanks, Josh. You've been brilliant at just making sure people are kept up to speed of where those links. Rithik, are you not currently coaching football? I wish. I'm actually I'm an elite coach in 3 different sports, which is rugby, union, football, and cycling. So I coach cycling now. I've moved on a bit from football, but I won't go through all those reasons for not coaching football. So yeah, and again, I think once you get to a certain level of coaching, I think there is an opportunity to move across sports within reason. That's just something that I've done. Thanks for the question. That's very personal. Is there any other questions there, folks, that I can help you with before we close down? Josh, are we going back into a main room now, or are we done here?
I believe that we're done here now. Okay. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everybody. Like I said, reach out to people if you're unaware, and if there's no further questions, we'll leave it there. Nice to meet you all.